What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. As you guys saw, I was dumping some oil. What's really cool is when I was younger, we used to have to take our used oil to like a auto parts store or a oil change place and take the oil there. Well, now, at least around Amarillo, they have these drop tanks over here where you can actually just freely, whenever you want, come drop your old oil in. So that's what I was doing because we're about to do an oil change on the Mustang. As you guys saw in the previous video, I'm actually switching oils to this Driven FR50 oil, so it's 5W50, 10 quarts, of course. Gen 3 Coyote takes 10 quarts. And so yeah, had to dump that bucket so I can drain the old oil into this one, and then obviously we'll have to bring it back here again. But it's really nice because there's one pretty close down the street. If you guys don't have one, sucks for you because it's super convenient instead of having to go to like an oil change place or the auto parts store. And hopefully none of you guys just throw your oil in used containers and just throw it away. That's highly illegal, but and terrible for the environment. But anyways, just drain some oil. We're gonna go back to the house. I'm going to actually change the oil today, change the oil filter. We'll have fresh oil. This is FL2K prep, and we'll just see where this vlog takes us. All right, guys, we are back in the garage, about to change the oil on the Mustang, but I didn't tell you guys, but over the weekend, I did take Kennedy to Salida and Buena Vista, Colorado. We've been doing a lot of racing stuff over the past year, and with all the stuff that happened, Kennedy and I had planned to go on some stuff, you know, like some small trips for like her birthday and our anniversary, and that stuff never happened because of everything that's been going on, not only with the pandemic, but with stuff at the gym and just being busy and then trying to race the car. And so I kind of put that on the back burner. So this weekend just did a random trip up to Colorado. Just Kennedy and I, no cameras, no race cars, street cars, none of that stuff. So it was a really good time. But I did that also because we're about to start traveling to go racing a lot. So I want to do something that was just for Kennedy and I. So you guys got to remember, if you have girlfriends or wives or whatever you have, make sure you do something that they like once in a while too. And they'll continue to support these ridiculous expensive habits we have, or else where we think so. So back on the Mustang. In the previous video, I was going to actually start putting in the new fuel ice tank, but I have a new plan for the trunk, and that's going to require us taking the car to Streetcar Joe's house. So we're going to leave the tank out. I'm going to drain the rest of the water out. I'm going to put the battery back in. We're going to get a whole new battery set up back here, new battery, everything, nice secure mount. We're going to do a lot of changes back here. So I kind of just put the car back together. Just have to throw the battery back in. I need to repack the chute. I actually just trimmed my parachute cable because this thing was way too long. I had it like looped in the trunk. Probably not the best thing to do. So I just finally trimmed that. Watched Doug Cook's video on that. So I'm trying to put the car back together because probably in this vlog, you'll actually see me take the car over to Streetcar Joe's house to start to get some work done on the car because we are in full prep mode for FL2K. So probably the biggest task is getting everything in the trunk done. We've got to get that new tank set up in there so that I can get the stock fuel tank out and get the new tank in there so we can utilize that, run less fuel, which will save us weight and save us a ton of headache with the stock tank. So that's probably the biggest thing we got to get done. And like I said, I have a whole new setup planned for this trunk area, and that's the biggest thing we got to get done. Plus I got to do a lot of maintenance on the car. Like I said, I'm about to do the oil change right now. If you guys didn't see the previous video, this is the Driven FR50 that we're going to switch to. Should help with a code that we were throwing, so we'll see if that fixes that. But I've been using the Pennzoil, and with the E85, it's just been eating that Pennzoil up. It's not lasting too long. So I do very frequent oil changes, and I'll probably still do them even with this oil. This oil is pretty expensive. I think it was like 10 or 11 bucks a quart. So it's a little bit more on the expensive side. It'll probably last longer. I won't have to do as many oil changes, but I do a lot of oil changes since I strictly just race the car, and I'm pretty hard on it. So we're gonna do oil change today. I've got the new trans pan gasket. I'm not gonna do that till we get to Joe's house because we are gonna have to pull the trans cooler back there for some of the trunk work we're doing. So I don't wanna have to drain the fluid out, put new fluid back in, then drain it again once we get to Joe's house. So we'll wait to do that once we get to Streetcar Joe's house. I did order some new plugs. So I've got 2 sets of plugs coming in. That is the one thing I've been pretty bad about checking, actually. When we put the new engine in, put a brand new set of plugs in there, gapped them, checked them after we broke in the engine, checked them after 2K, and everything checked out pretty good, and I really haven't checked them since probably April. So it's been a while. The car has a few passes on it since then. So it's time to start looking at those. You know, the plugs will tell you a lot with what's going on with the motor, make sure everything's healthy. So we'll get that done as well. And just a few minor odds and ends. Like I said, just to get the car truly ready for FL2K. I did get a new set of ET Radial Pros, but I think this set will get us through FL2K. But after that, they're starting to get close to the wear bars on there. So after FL2K, we'll definitely need a new set. But that's in future, so no need to worry about that. So let's get this oil changed, and then we're probably going to get the car over to Streetcar Joe's. Alright, so just letting the oil kind of finish up there. If you saw me stop halfway, that's because there's over 10 quarts of oil in this thing, so it fills up pretty quick. So got that in our little waste bucket there. Gonna let that drain out, and then we're gonna put the new oil in. So I always use Ford, I think they're FL500S. Let's see, where is it? FL500S OEM Motorcraft filters. I always use these. They work really good, so I always keep like 2 or 3 on hand. So when I go buy one, I typically buy a few. That way I never run into an issue where I don't have one. But put the new filter on, and then we're gonna fill it up. Pretty standard stuff, but you want to put some new oil in here, and then put a little bit of oil on the O-ring right here, and that'll help it seal. And then that way you've got some oil in the filter, so you're not dry starting the car when you start it back up. All right, guys, so we got about 10.5 quarts in the car. Got a brand new OEM oil filter in there. So I'm gonna start packing some stuff up. I gotta pack the chute, put that away, and I will see you guys at Mr. Streetcar Joe's house. So the car is at Streetcar Joe's house. We haven't started working on it yet because I was just waiting on a few more parts to come in, but the car is at Joe's house. You guys will see in the next video what we're actually doing to it. But I did get a few other items in. Got some new 275 6015 ET Pro radials. Got this super awesome Braille lithium battery. So this is actually a full-size battery. It's a 34 series battery. So it's a full-size lithium battery, only weighs 11.5 pounds, but I'll say it one more time. It's a Group 34 battery, so it's a full-size battery, but it only weighs 11 pounds. Now, these are pretty expensive. This is like a $1,000 battery, but Joseph's ran it in all of his cars, and a lot of other people are running these. There's some smaller batteries that are cheaper that you could go with, but this thing, like, it's got the most cold cranking amps. I think it's like over 12 or 1300. You can leave it sitting for a year and it would still start up. It's really good with dead starts. You know, if the alternator's not working, it could still start up. I mean, this thing is freaking powerful as hell. Look at that. So, really expensive battery, but I think it's worth it. Also, I got in some safety stuff. I'm gonna need this for some of the races that I have coming up. They're really strict on safety, but I got this Shroud SFI blanket for the Turbo 400. Now I do have a diaper coming for the engine itself, but this is like a diaper for the Turbo 400 in case it was to ever explode. Because I do have a stock case on there. It's not a Reed case or an aftermarket case of any kind. It does have an SFI bell housing, but the actual case itself is a stock Turbo 400 case. Now, stock Turbo 400 cases are really strong actually, but just in case something does happen, I want to run this just for safety precautions. And a lot of the races I have coming up, the ones that I'm traveling out of state for, do require a trans and engine diaper. So this is the Turbo 400 one from Stroud. I ordered it from Motion Raceworks, got here in like 2 days, and I have one coming for the engine itself. And then like I said, I got the battery, got the tires. I got a few more items in, but you guys will see that when we start working on the car at Streetcar Joe's house. To end this video, I wanted to talk about the video I made the other day about Vic's Mustang going 8.0s on a completely stock, unopened engine. Well, I wanted to update you guys. They finally ran a 7, freaking awesome, 790, 170 mile an hour, completely stock, unopened Gen 3 Coyote, no oil pump gears, nothing. I do recommend them, but they were trying to prove a point. They were trying to prove just how fast the Gen 3 Coyote could go. You know, 2 years ago when Jesus went 850s, it opened everyone's eyes to how great these Gen 3 Coyotes are. Then I went 820s, really opened some eyes, and now they just went a 7, which is really cool. Friggin' awesome. Huge shout to Lund Racing for the tuning. Midnight Performance twin turbo kit, Midnight Performance trans, and they did a really awesome job with that car. So I didn't want to make a separate video on it and name it that just because I didn't want to like steal, you know, their thunder of them posting it, because I'm sure they're going to make a video on it. So I just thought I'd update you guys in this video, and they can make their own video because I don't want to steal any of their stuff. You know, I'm sure they want to make a post about it because they deserve all the credit for it. So you guys can go check out Midnight Performance, Lund Racing. They got some videos on it, but freaking insane that a motor can do that. Now, could that motor be out, you know, for a whole season, back-to-back weekends of drag racing? Going that fast? I don't know. It's too hard to say. Probably not for the long term, but the cool thing is it tells you that that car can trap 170 miles an hour. Like, it's making that much power and everything is staying intact. Now, I don't know if they're gonna try and go faster when the air cools off. I think the DA was definitely under 2,000, nothing crazy. But I don't know if they're gonna try and go faster when the air cools off, because they're still, you know, it's still right around that time where it's still pretty warm out. They did wait till it's later in the day, but the DA is not that great. I know the track prep was really good. I saw some other cars go down pretty fast on that track. So they definitely had the track for it, and it just goes to show how fast these Gen 3 Coyotes are. It's freaking insane. I didn't want to push mine that fast because I needed my block in good condition, but they definitely had the setup for it, and they made it happen. It's freaking damn impressive. And that just means I got to go turn mine up because I got a built motor and they're going as fast as I am. But, you know, I've got, I think, 50 or 60 passes on my motor. And we just now started turning it up because I ran, you know, I had a bunch of boost issues, had some trans issues, and it's now just finally all come together. So hopefully we'll start to turn it up soon and we can actually see what my motor is capable of. If not, I'm just going to go back to the stock motor. Just kidding. But I'm really excited with the new parts that I got. Like I said, I got some fresh tires, got finally a new battery, a really badass battery. It took me a long time to bite the nail and get this battery, but I think it's definitely gonna be worth it. It's definitely more expensive, but it is gonna be worth it in the end. And then, like I said, we got the diaper for the trans, got the one for the engine coming in because we gotta be safe out there in case anything breaks or leaks. Definitely don't want that when you're going 175 to 180 miles an hour down the track. It is not a good time. And so you guys will see on the next video as we continue to prepare for FL2K. We're just a week and a half away, so it is crunch time right now. We've got a ton of maintenance to do on the car, and we've got to get the whole trunk setup done. So we've got a lot of work ahead of us. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Make sure you guys stick around for some more updates as we get ready for FL2K. I will see you guys on the next one.